Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? It is great to see you. We're glad you're here. And we have a great show in store today. As it goes, things don't always go as planned. So our guests are not here today, but we still forge ahead. I'm Calista Nichols.
And I'm Jeff Nichols.
We are glad you're here. Thank you for coming. Our subject today is on love, and I'm going to play a little video for you. Hang on, we'll be right back.
I can't wait to see you and hold you in my arms. I can't wait for the memories we'll keep inside our hearts. I can't wait, 'cause I've been missing you for oh so long. I can't wait, can't wait. See, I've been missing you. Can't wait.
Welcome back. We will get started today. Our mission here is this is a live interactive streaming marriage support group. And let me switch this over here. Our series focus topic is love. We're exploring the question, is love enough to save a marriage? And that's a tough one, but we're going to try to tackle it. For the next, we have 5 more weeks after this week that we'll be discussing this. Okay. Oh, we don't have guests today.
Did you know in 2021, the average age of marriage for female participants was 33, while males respondents married at age 35. This was up from 2019 and 2020, when the average marital age for a couple was 32.
That's kind of amazing. That used to be a lot lower, don't you think?
Yeah, I think in generations past, people probably got married at age 20, 21 from high school rather than college.
So people are waiting longer to get married, and they're saying like the 50 is the new 30 kind of thing. Well, it makes sense that people would wait longer to get married than to.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I wish I was in my 30s now.
What would you do different?
Probably have less pain in my knees than I did when I was 30. So
Okay. Before we go into this discussion, I just wanted to take the opportunity, since we don't have guests, for you to kind of get to know us. We care about you, and we care about your marriage. We don't have a perfect marriage. We aren't experts, but it doesn't mean that we can't pray for your marriage. If you ever have any requests for us that you would need prayer, please reach out to us. We are committed to helping other married people. The only thing is, if you aren't in the arena of marriage or engagement, you just can't know what it's like. So that's the only thing that is a requirement, is that you have to be in the arena or getting ready to be in the arena. So we have something in our chat. Oh, hello, Dr. Aaron. We are glad to see you here.
is there anything like a perfect marriage? I don't think any marriage personally is perfect, whatever perfect may mean. I mean, we can be in a marriage and have, I mean, everyone has difficulties. It's how we deal with those imperfections that come up in our daily life and how to deal with them as a married couple. I mean, we have examples of people who have been married longer than us, and, in their situation, we can follow their examples of, you know, whatever came up in their marriage or, how they deal with situations. But I personally don't know any perfect marriage.
Right. We have another comment. Good morning. The Sloans are here. Good morning, Sloans. We love you. And also, expert is a person who has a comprehensive and authoritative knowledge of or skill in a particular area. Well, we've been married for 16 years, so I guess that gives us a little skill.
Yeah, in certain situations when they arise, I mean, we can draw from our experience of what happened, and what we're like now. So, and what we had to do to overcome that difficulty at that moment. So,
We also have, we are all students and experienced. Amen. Because there is not a day that I can't learn something and also draw from my experiences that we've had. We're 16 years of marriage and we still have little things that we don't know about each other. you know,
hmm.
Only God knows it all. Amen. Amen. And our marriage is perfect because it is ordained by God. Woo, my goodness, I can't talk today. And that is true. For the longest time, I told people always that Jeff and I's marriage was perfect. It might not be perfect to someone else, but it was our perfect marriage. And it worked for us. So, um, perfect can be defined very differently. And the truth is, yeah, our marriage is perfect because it is ordained by God. So, even the challenges are part of the perfection. Well, yes, challenges help us evolve and change too. And if you didn't have um, some challenges, you wouldn't know good from bad. It's kind of like if we didn't have rain, we wouldn't enjoy the sunshine because there's nothing to compare it to. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when things arise, if we knew everything, then where would our reliance on our God as we know Him to help us in our situations? Because I know when I get in the midst of some things, I can't seem to get myself out. So, I have to rely on God and Jesus to, you know, give me the willingness to change those things that are leading me astray and to be able to come back into his umbrella of perfection, so to speak, to, you know, get on that right path. Keep your eye on the prize, not the opinion of others. Exactly. Well, others can assist us, but I don't think they have the final answer into what our life may mean and how God is using us to help the people who may not be where we are. We're to be the light. So I want to stay in that light of God to do his will and not mine.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Well, let's go to our. This game is called Who Knows Best? Couples discussion game. The couples answer questions for themselves and then for their spouses. Then they see which one knows the other best. Oh, yeah, another chat here. Contrasts provide the frame we need to appreciate the blessings and the good time we have and will have. Yes. Exactly. Got to have some contrasts. Okay. All right.
I like Who Knows Best because
Oops.
it gives me an insight on if I really know you like I think I know you on this given day.
And vice right, because we could change. I mean, my opinion of a question today might be different than my opinion of a question of the same question if you had asked me 10 years ago,
Hmm. Yeah.
because we can all change.
So our first question is
No.
this is to get ready. Each of you get something to write with and be ready to play our new couples game, Who Knows Best? Father knows best. Write your answers to the questions first, then guess how you think your spouse will answer. Do not look at each other's answers yet.
Okay.
First question. If you had the opportunity to own a business franchise, which of the following would you prefer? A department store, B, a fast food restaurant, C, a gas station, or D, a mobile phone store? Again, if you had the opportunity to own a business franchise, which of the following would you prefer? A department store, a fast food restaurant, a gas station, or mobile phone stores?
We have a comment. Me, I know best. All right.
Who's me? Identify yourself.
Oops. What do I have here? Oh, that's the same one. There we go. Okay.
So I'll write mine down.
You
I
can
think
write
I
yours
know
down.
what yours is. Yeah.
You want to go first, or do you want me to?
Sure. I think if you was to have a business, since you worked in a mobile phone store before, I would probably guess that you would choose D.
Okay. What would you choose?
What would I choose? I don't know. That's good. I worked in two of the four. Uh, it'd probably be a department store.
So, um, I put down that I would like a department store. And I put down that I also thought you would like a department store just because you worked at a department store. And the reason I said A for me was because a department store encompasses many areas of life, not just like fast food or mobile phones, or I mean, there could be so many things in a department store. And that's why I chose the department store. But for you, I said department store because clothes.
Hmm.
You're a clothes hound. So that's why I said that for
Well,
you.
that I guess you're right. Things change because for a person who didn't like to go shopping when we first got together, I wouldn't expect you to say that you would like to have a department store. So I know that it was difficult to get you to the department store, but once you got there, it was hard for you to leave. So,
But a department store, it covers many, like I said, many facets. So you wouldn't be stuck with the same thing every day.
well, what department would you like best? Would it be furniture? Would it be home and appliance? Would it be, I know it wouldn't be clothes, but what area do you think you would exceed in or excel in?
I don't know, but if I owned it, I'd have to excel in all of them. So I'd figure out a way to sell it all.
Hmm. Well, when
Or
you,
find somebody that's perfect to sell it all.
hmm, I guess.
So our comments we have here, me, B, selling pizza, and B, my husband. What? Okay.
So both you guys would be in fast food. What would you name your fast food restaurant? Hmm.
Another comment, Walmart, Amazon, okay. And Dr. Aaron says, the whole store. Yes, that's right. That's what I would do. I would shop the whole store. I would sell whatever I could. I would go buy whatever I could.
Hmm.
The whole store. So that's kind of my thoughts. And, just because I don't like shopping doesn't mean um, that I don't want things,
I'm
right?
not saying I didn't say that you didn't like shopping. I said it was hard to get you to the store. I
That's
knew
true.
that it wasn't the first thing on your list at certain times. So,
That's true. That is true. Because I'm a saver. I don't like to spend. So if I just stay away from the stores, then I don't spend.
hmm, no, I guess yeah. I like to spend.
I
I
can't.
like clothes, so I like to wear them. I like to put other people in them. I just like to be of service in that way, I guess.
I can't. I can't window shop well because if I see something that I want, I'm going to try to figure out how I can get it, and that may not always be the best thing.
Hmm.
Dr. Aaron says, "What are you saving for?" Well, my perfect savings is spent on vacations. I love traveling. I love going places. And when I go, I like to not have to worry about my spending. So I love to save for vacations, um, and be able to spend what I want when I want without thinking about it. So I like to have a lot of cash on hand. Well, not necessarily cash on hand, but cash to spend, money to spend while I'm on vacation.
Well, let's make an agreement today that we will save for a vacation. I don't think we've been on one in quite a while, so
We haven't. So yeah, that works for me, baby. All right, let's go to our next question. Oh, we got another comment here. It's called delayed gratification, discipline, but not abstinence. Laugh out loud.
hmm.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, that
Well,
is true.
yeah, I think I suffer with that delayed gratification. I seem to have a problem with instant gratification. Something pops in my head and I seem to go on that. It seems to occupy everything else in my life. And so that's not necessarily a good thing. So,
And I probably suffer on the other end of that with the abstinence. I mean, I will neglect myself, even like getting a haircut, just in the name of saving.
hmm,
So I think I suffer and I go to the other extreme that he does. So he has the instant gratification problem and I have the abstinence problem.
yeah, and that's where we have our difficulties. So I'm glad we can identify that. So I guess that's what we need to work on and be aware of that when those situations arise. So,
Yeah. The Sloans say you should vacation in the Carolinas. I agree, my dear. I agree. I love the idea.
I've been to the Carolinas. Yeah, I would probably eat all of my funds away because I know how good some of the barbecue is down there. So, you know, but I've been to Myrtle Beach. I've been to a couple of places in the North and South Carolinas. So, yeah, it'd be good to go back down there and show you some of
Hmm.
the things.
Well, plus we have the Sloans in Carolinas. We have Tolbra and Saifa in the Carolinas. We could visit them.
Yeah, we have a few people down there. So,
Yeah, yeah. And we also have, balance. You're right. We definitely need to work on balance.
hmm. Yeah, that would work in all areas of our life in all different, situations
Yeah,
or
yeah.
mm,
All right, let's go to the next question here.
If you felt that your spouse was struggling in an area, which subject would be the most difficult to discuss? A. Aging and age related challenges. B. Personal hygiene. C. Physical appearance. And D. Sexual abilities. Again, if you felt that your spouse was struggling in an area, which subject would be the most difficult to discuss? A. Aging and age related challenges. Excuse me. B. Personal hygiene. C. Physical appearance. Or D. Sexual abilities. I think I know what I would say. You want to go first in this one?
What do you think you would say? I mean, what I would say. You got that in there? You have it down?
Yeah, I have it down. Why don't you
Okay.
go first? What do you think would be my most difficult challenge for you to discuss with me?
If you felt that your spouse was struggling in an area, which subject would be the most difficult to discuss? For me, the most difficult thing to discuss with Jeff, I think, would be, oh, this is a hard one. Um, I don't know, sexual abilities, maybe. I don't know. This is a really hard one for me. And I think you would say that the thing that would be the hardest to discuss with me would be aging and age related challenges.
Hmm.
I
Well,
don't know.
that's what I put for both of us. Just by, we in one of our shows we talked about, you know, the mental health of growing old and what that entails, like dementia and Alzheimer's and things of that nature. That's why I thought it would be A for the both of us, aging and age related challenges, because those are things that, I mean, all of these are things. Well, I mean, I guess for an example, if you didn't put on deodorant, I would have to say, hey, you know, you're humming today. Can you do something to change that situation? I don't think I could. I don't think that would be something difficult for me to discuss with you, as well as physical appearance. I mean, like you said, one of yours is hair. Getting your hair cut. I can. I think I could talk about those and sexual abilities. I mean, I don't think I would have difficulties with that. You know, I think I could bring it to the table, and whether you choose to, I mean, either I could teach you in some of those areas if I knew what I like, but as far as aging and things that come up in my mind of what age related issues are, you forgetting your memory, you know, and things that come up with like your knee pain or back pain or hip pain. Those are things that, I mean, other than going to the doctor, or I mean, I think those things would persist, and I don't think I don't have the outcome of those. I mean, not that I have the outcome of the others. I think it would be probably just, I mean, like if you was to, Lord forbid that, you would go through, what we're going through with my mom, you know,
Alzheimer's, yeah.
yeah. I mean, we would have to live with all of these things, but I don't think, the later ones would be something that I would struggle with as far as talking to you about.
Mm. I think age related things would be hard to talk about it as well. Um, I I guess I don't. I just, because it's hard. Like, I think about um, the challenges that we've gone through with my grandparents and my parents, and you know one of the things that was really hard for my parents to deal with, and her sisters was that they had to take the car away from their dad, and that was really a tough one for them. They had that challenge was a really rough go. And it wasn't until he had an accident that he finally agreed. So I do think, to me, aging and age related challenges are a big one. And I said sexual abilities because, so, that's a touch and go. I mean, for you, I said that because it's a touch and go subject with men, I think. Men struggle with that topic. I don't know. So that's why I said that. So he knew me best on that one.
Well, I think some of these, I guess it depends on your experience in certain situations. I mean, I guess to each his own. We had some comments. Dr. Aaron said, struggle. We are hard pressed on every side, yet not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. We can work it out.
Yeah. And then we've got this one. Oh, whoops. Sorry, guys. Sheila and Sheldon say personal hygiene and sexual ability are the hardest. Well, I'm agree with you. I don't think personal hygiene is hard for us. I mean, just last night we had this personal hygiene discussion with my son. So that one we kind of we don't have so much of a problem with. And I would prefer he say something to me before I walk out and somebody else say smells me or something, because that way I know he's looking out for me and he loves me, right?
Yeah, if you're supposed to be representative of me and me with you, I guess, what is the situation? I mean, I wouldn't want you to go out here smelling like,
not a rose.
Yeah, not a rose, or the thing that makes the rose grow, fertilization. So, I don't know. To me, that wouldn't be this to me, and I'm not speaking for anybody else. I don't think I would have an issue with that, because we would know these things about that person when we were dating. And so, I don't know.
Well, they have I Do Me Too says me, A, aging and age related challenges, and my spouse, C, physical appearance. Okay.
I mean, we can't change physical appearance. I mean, God made us imperfect, so, but we're perfect in his eyes. So, I mean, I guess it would be what is our difficulties in seeing the other person? I mean, your outer shell may not display what your inner self is. So your physical attributes on the outside doesn't always represent what you are really about. So
we have another comment. Teaching requires a partner that's open to learn without being offended. That is true. And sometimes it's hard. It is hard. But I don't know. I think we do a pretty good job of that. Even if we're offended, I think we take a break and then may come back to it. I don't know.
Yeah, pray and pray and pray some more.
Yeah. And it is hard to teach if your partner is not receiving your lesson well. That is true. That is true. I think that's why when we notice that the other person is flailing in our discussion, we kind of take a break from it and may come back to it later.
Yeah, maybe re-examine or see if we can say something in a different manner that may be received. And if not, then again, I think that's something that we would just have to turn it over to the Lord and, ask for his will be done in that situation,
Hmm.
or give us guidance in how we're to proceed.
Sheila says, I meant to say physical appearance. Sorry.
Mm.
Cool. And go ahead, read that.
Exactly, Sloan. But sometimes we might be a bit rough with our teaching as if our opinion is better than our spouse's opinion.
That is true. That's kind of what we were just talking about. Sometimes if it's not being received well, just, take a break and come back with some different thoughts a little bit later. It also gives the person time to mull it over too. And for me, I'm the kind of person that I don't think on my feet well when it comes to disagreements. So sometimes I just need some time to think it over. When people bring something to me, oftentimes I'll think, okay, is this something I've heard before? Is this something that more than one person has brought to my attention? If it is, it might be that I need to work on that. As long as it's being brought in love. And I don't know. Sometimes you just need to think it over, even if it ticks you off originally. You just need to think it over a little bit, um, and be honest with yourself. And sometimes honesty is a hard thing to be. That also gives you an opportunity to stretch out with your face down or your face up and talk to God about it as well, before you come back together. Another thing.
Dr. Aaron said if you ever had an abscessed tooth infection, that is painful and affects your breath as well.
Woo, yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, so would it offend you if you had an abscessed tooth and I came with you with some gum or some breath mints, some lifesavers just out there and be like, hey, do you want some of these today?
I don't think it would offend me, but I might say to you, why is my breath stink?
Well, I don't know.
But I don't think it would offend me. I mean, I'm always concerned about my breath. At church, at church, I carry gum with me all the time. Even when I'm in crowds of people, I like to have a stick of gum in my mouth because I'm always concerned about that. So,
Yeah, that's a good one at church, by singing in a choir where we be around other people, and you up there singing and,
got funk breath
yeah,
going.
yeah, yeah. So hopefully, again, that's where, I would try not to be offended if someone came and gave me a lifesaver and be like, here, would you like one? Not say here, but would you like one? And,
Yeah, I think it is true. It's sometimes about the way that you approach it.
well, yeah, I would rather someone give me a Bruckman instead of me being all up in your face thinking that I'm a good teacher and stuff, and what I'm trying to express to you, you're not receiving because,
Because
the
you're about to pass
outer,
out.
well, yeah, that outer smell is distracting you from receiving what I have to give to you. So I guess maybe that's why, pastors and everybody are on a platform. So,
Dr. Aaron says, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Oh, yeah. And sometimes you got to endure some stuff now.
mm, mm.
All right. Let's go to the next question.
What is your favorite season? Fall, spring, summer, winter? Your favorite season: fall, spring, summer, winter. I think I. Let me see. I'm gonna put what I think yours is. I think you. I think maybe your favorite season is fall. Seeing the leaves change colors, you know, getting out from the heat of summer, which you don't like so much, the humidity. I don't think anybody really likes humidity, but this the changing from heat to um, maybe a warmer, cooler temperature.
And what is your favorite?
My favorite is spring. I like spring. I like kind of just the opposite when we get out of the coldness of winter and the season, it changes from being cold to beginning to get warmer. So, and I grew up in DC, so I used to love being out there. There were things I liked about growing up in Washington DC, and there were things that I didn't like. But most of the things that I liked was one, when the cherry blossoms would bloom in the spring.
Mm.
That was always, you know, it a good time because you could go out on the little tidal boats on the basin out there and, you know, roll around in those little boats with your partner or friend or whoever and, see the cherry blossoms when they bloom and stuff. So I like the springtime.
So for you, well, for myself, I said, I don't know, I had a hard time with this one between spring and fall. Although, the reason, let me start over. Several years ago, I would have said summer. I love summer. I don't care how hot it is. I just love summer. But as I've gotten a little older, I have changed, and spring or fall have become my favorites. But, the reason that I shy away from fall is because I know what comes next.
Hmm.
And I hate winter.
Yeah.
So that one is a hard one for me. Spring, fall, spring. I don't know which one I like best, but for you, I put spring. I thought that you like spring,
Hmm. Well, yeah.
but summer was a close one for me too. I almost said summer for you.
Well, with climate change, and I know that's real, things that we're going through now are different than what it was maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago. So,
Mhm. Um, Sheila and Sheldon say Sheila loves the fall and Sheldon loves the spring.
hmm.
There you go. For us, and our son, his birthday is in September, and so we would always do fall pictures, and I always like to get it right at the time where the trees and stuff are changing, so it's so colorful, and so we've always done family pictures and gotten pictures for him for his birthday about around the fall too. So,
Yeah.
that's a good one. All right. Now, let's see what we have next here. Okay. Oh, the results. So, how did you do? You got
I think I
this
got
one
one
right.
out of three.
I got
Maybe
two.
two.
I got two. Yes. 2 out of 3. So, today it was me, but last week I think it was you. So let's go over the results and see who knows the other best. Think about discussing why you gave your answers, which we kind of did that already. But, this gives us something to go forward, to move forward on as well.
Well, I can't change those answers, but
Oh, Sheila's birthday is September 18th. When is your son's date? His birthday is the 26th. So they're pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of his good friends' birthdays is the 19th. So they're about 1 week short
Hmm.
of a year apart.
Hmm. Yeah. That goes out to our good friends Bobby and Lindsay.
And
So
Corey.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. All right. We're going to watch a video. Look for which principles stand out to you. Which principles do you like best about the principles of friends of your marriage? Okay. Go.
We had to travel the world of our past to realize it was harder before cause we weren't by each other's side. Maybe it took a little longer to know together we're stronger. That's the way our love survived. Now we've gone through the fire. Love will take us higher, higher than it was before we went through love and war. See the promised land, walking hand in hand. Now that we can understand what we were fighting for, fighting for love, 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 fighting for love.
Okay. Now we also want to give a little plug to meet our hosts. So we have the Sloans who are on Monday evenings. That's 7 Central, 8 Eastern. We have the Jamals that do Tuesday evenings, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. And we have us, of course, on Saturday mornings. That's 10 a.m. Central, 11 Eastern Standard Time. We also have the Rudges, who are talk contributors. We adore them. We enjoy their comments. And so feel free, if you can't join us on Saturday mornings, to catch a Monday or Tuesday evening with our other couples. Like I said, we care about you and we care about your marriage. And we don't have a perfect marriage. We aren't experts. Well, I guess by definition we are experts. um, but it doesn't mean that we can't pray for your marriage. And so give us the opportunity if you want to reach out to us, or there's many um, meetings or hosts that can help you out as well.
I got that song in my head. I need to go back and play it more than this on Saturday.
um, there is
Shout
a
out.
complete your assignments. You want to read that?
Choose a day and time that you can commit to working on your assignments. Do your best to stay dedicated. Yes. Again, like Calista said, we're not experts. I think we just have our experience that, maybe somebody else may be going through at that time, and God takes our experience off the shelf and into our lives and speak on that situation. So, it can be a highlight for, somebody that may be going through that situation to use. So, I mean, to use or not to use, that is the question.
Mhm. Um, there is a couples challenge that we'd like to issue to you. Take turns giving each other a hand massage and or manicure. Spend time sharing with each other how this makes you feel.
Yeah, you gonna do that today?
Sure.
Sure. All right. Okay.
What? You going to do it today too?
No, I asked you first.
Oh, wow.
I mean, yeah, I guess if you gave me one, I would give you one. I already cut my nails though, so I would take the hand massage. So or a pedicure. You gonna do a pedicure for me?
Feet is not my strong point here,
Mm.
people.
Mm.
That's why he laughed the way he does.
Why is that? We make need to express on that. You know, is that a difficulty for you?
Oh boy. Let's see. What do we have here? You probably know each other better than others. You are experts on you. All right. Yeah. Okay. So this is Bible studies to build strong, healthy marriages. And we have a video for you if you're struggling in marriage.
I think we all struggle at times.
You may be struggling in your marriage, feeling unhappy, or even feel that there's just something missing. Or you just might appreciate your marriage so much that you want to build upon and sustain what you already have. What we've discovered is that there are biblical principles that help break bondages that keep us from enjoying a happy and fruitful marriage. Our couples Bible study explores the meaning behind scriptures according to specific topics. The Bible study questions help couples to seek the answers that address their own specific needs and concerns. Remember that building and maintaining a happy and healthy marriage is not a destination, but a wonderful and rewarding journey. Now, let's continue this journey with our next lesson.
Okay. Here is our
1 Peter 4-8 says, "And above all things, have fervent love for one another, for love will cover a multitude of sins." Thank you, Jesus, for the love that you continue to build in our lives, continue to give us. What does the phrase above all things mean? Give an example of something you have recently put above everything else. You want to talk on that?
No, you go first.
What does the phrase above all things mean to me? I don't know that if you, well, for God, that, I would say what my relationship with Him is, and, for me and my sins, that, He's above all things in my life, and that, I can look to Him, even look to you sometimes as far as, where I may be at in a certain situation. And I know He gives me hope, and you give me hope as well, so that, you know, that my outlook might not always has to be dark, that there might be a light at the end of the tunnel. So that's what it means to me.
Mm. So, above all things, I mean, to me, this is, God telling us that love is the most important thing. And without love, none of the other things that He requests of us um, make a difference. So, we have to put love first above all things. That's kind of my thought about above all things. So, I don't know. I don't. To me, it seems cut and dried, but to others, it may not. No. I want to read a little something um, that I think it kind of relevant to love. How can I give the gift of love to others if I don't love myself? Acceptance is the key. When I accept myself for who I am, I can start to love myself again. It's a special kind of freedom that grows when I'm willing to take an honest look at myself and change for the better. Loving myself makes it possible to love other people. I can accept them and let them learn from their own mistakes. That doesn't mean I can't talk with or help them, but I have to be able to let them decide what's best for themselves. That way, they have their freedom and I still have mine, and the love between us can grow. Real love happens when people feel free to be themselves. It's a beautiful thing that starts with acceptance and grows as I work on myself and live it in my relationships with other people. When I give myself the me, I can give it away to others. This is called acceptance and it's key to love. It opens the door to loving myself and lets me share that love with the people around me. Um, so I think above all things, also, we have to love ourselves.
Hmm.
So we'll move on to the question 2. We only have a couple more minutes here.
What is fervent love? Give an example of something that gives fervent love from you. That gets fervent love from you.
Well, for me, fervent love is, well, fervent means like it's hot, it's on fire, it's passionate. Um, and I think that probably my son gets fervent love from me. Give an example of something that gets fervent love from you.
Hmm. I don't know. I have to think about that. What am I passionate about? You at times. I guess yeah, our immediate family. Hmm. So would clothes be an example? I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
My favorite sports team. Hmm. I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Material things. Hmm. I don't know if I researched this in our studies, so I don't remember what I wrote down. So,
um, some people, fervent love could be like living lean. It could be taking care of yourself.
exercise.
It could be exercise. I mean, it could be many of things.
Our garden.
This says, above all things, have fervent love for one another. So I know that's something that I probably need to work on because, um, does that mean putting people ahead of you?
It could.
There's a little acronym, if you will. It's joy. Um, Jesus, others, and yourself. So I
The
don't know.
commandment: love your neighbor as you love yourself. So,
Yeah, this is a good one.
hmm,
This is a good one. And it's hard to love people when they're backstabbing you or they're being disagreeable about things or they're mean to you. But we're called to do it.
hmm. I don't. Yeah, it could be hard at that time, but it just sometimes I feel like I can love somebody from afar. I don't have to love them close up. I can pray for them today as I used to couldn't before, but I know that I'm also have to forgive somebody for the harm that they may have done doesn't necessarily mean forget, but to forgive, because Jesus forgives us, for our sins and was willing to die for us. So I try not to harbor in ill feelings today because I know that can dominate my thoughts, and I don't try to give that power away to that person or situation at that moment. So
yeah. All right, let's go to the next question.
What does it mean to cover something? Well, for gardening, to me, it means cover, like in the fall, which is the seasons is going to change. So I know sometimes to cover like flowers or something means to give them protection for, a season that may be occurring, like cover up, like if you're cold, we put on different clothing depending on the season that we may be going through. So, cover you with protection, give you if you're cold, I'll give you a blanket. If you're hot, cover you with a fan or whatever.
Which right now happens quite frequently.
Yeah. The season that you're in. So.
What does it mean to cover something? What would you most like to have covered in your life? Well, in the verse it says, for love will cover a multitude of sins. And I would like for all of my sins to be covered,
Amen.
And they are many. So I guess that's my big thing, is that I would want my sins covered. So I guess that's about all I have to say on that.
Dr. Aaron said, for me, my greatest passion is to be shared with my wife. Intimacy, joy, and encouragement. He also says, where am I vulnerable or an area I may have a blind spot?
Oh, yeah. That's a good one, too. Because, we don't know what we don't know. So that could be a blind spot, or, just something that you feel one way passionately about and you don't really look at it from another direction. So that's a good one. Yeah, please, cover me in areas that I have blind spots. So, right. Well, where there is more to study, but if you go out to I Do Me Too and idometoo.org, then you could also do the assignment or the lessons and catch on more of the verses. But with that, I am going to play our goodbye.
We had to travel the world of our past to realize.
Oh, sorry.
We had to travel the world of our past to realize. It was harder before cause we weren't by each other's side. Maybe it took a little longer to know together we're stronger. That's the way our love survived. Now we've gone through the fire. Love will take us higher, higher than it was before we went through love and war. See the promised land won't
Bye, everyone.
See you next time.
See you next week.